In today's video, we take you on a spectacular snow day adventure where Amanda takes a better image than I do, and you'll get to see the weirdest unboxing video you've ever seen. But first, I've got two announcements to make. I'm having my Canadian Rockies photography workshop this September, so if you want to join us for a few days in the Rockies, there's a link in the description below. That one usually sells out pretty quick. And the second is that it is now round 2 of that photography contest that I'm having with Blake Rudis from F64 Academy. And I really don't want to lose to Blake. So please do me a favor, click on the link in the description below to cast your blind vote over whichever of these two images you genuinely believe is the best image. And the winner gets this atrocious looking trophy that Blake made. Alright, let's start with this unboxing video that I filmed a few days ago. It's a bit weird. This is my new 80mm prime lens with a maximum aperture of f1.9. Let's do an unboxing. I've never done one of these before. To be honest, I'm not quite sure I've got the hands for it, you know, look at the state of these things, but we'll give it a go. What could go wrong? Right, let's cut this. Oh, hang on. Let's try it. I'm so clumsy. I'll just keep trying. There you go. Let's get that off there. Let's lift this lid off. Come on. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Look at that business. Don't need that. Yeah. Let's get that out. It's a bit tight, is that? Tighter than Michael Shaneblum, that. God. Oh, hello. Let's take this lens cap off. 77mm thread, so that'll fit my other filters. Let's have a look at the back piece of glass. Yeah, it's a piece of glass. Let's put this lens cap back on. I guess I should take off this weird condom thing, but let's take that off. Let's hope that still works. Hopefully Hasselblad's not watching. Alright, so let's go and take this out for a nice little test drive and put it through its paces in some challenging conditions. Best unboxing video you've ever seen. You've ruined the illusion, and now they know I've got ugly hands. So, with the appropriate footwear for a day of fun in the snow, we dug out the car and hit the road. But do you fancy a coffee or something on the way?
I would.
Yeah, I'd like one too. You're buying.
I forgot my wallet.
That old chestnut, that don't work anymore, love. You don't have a wallet. There was so much snow I could barely see the road markings, and the trees were sagging with the heavy load. We stopped in at the Farmer's Pantry Cafe, where I loaded up on a double shot latte and then inhaled 2 croissants under the supervision of Freddie Mercury, while Amanda tucked into a cheesecake she was not sharing. After that, we had about 2 more hours of sketchy snow driving, and I'll be honest with you, I was starting to get a little bit concerned. Alright, there's been a lot more snow than we were prepared for. We just made it up the hill, but the snow's still coming down, so I don't want to linger here for too long because then we might not get down the hill. So we're going to hike down. It's probably about 30 minutes down.
And 6 hours up.
But you've got your thermals on, eh?
Oh yeah, I can't even do them up.
Oh yeah, that's warm. And some shit tickets.
That's on you. You're the one with the loose hole.
Right, let's go. For some reason, Amanda required a full backpack for just 1 bottle of water, but whatever. You're all set.
I'm already frozen.
So I really didn't want to be under pressure for this because we came here this time last year and I was under pressure and we had to cut our visit short because it was my mum's birthday and we were doing a video chat. Hello, Mum. So I had to rush home and I didn't get the shot that I wanted. But today, I feel like I can't linger because if this gets any deeper, I'm not getting down that steep hill and it was sketchy coming up. So I'm rushed once again.
Well, are you sure you want to go down there today, then? I don't want you to feel rushed.
Well, we'll go and have a look.
It is -10.
There is no trail. The trail is completely invisible. Can't see anything. I mean, this is it. This is the trail. Yeah. So there's a chance we could get lost. You know, we won't see the trail or these little orange markers, but we'll always be able to find our way back because of our footprints. Unless it snows over those, in which case we're screwed. Be alright, I'm sure.
The powder was perfect, but not really deep enough for snowshoes, so we slogged through it in our boots until we reached the staircase of crushed bum cherries.
Alright, we're about halfway now. I don't know about you, love, but I am reasting hot.
Are you?
Are you cold?
A little bit. My face is numb.
Oh, I'm sweating. I'll have to take that off. It's just way too hot. So we're about 15 minutes down the trail and we're almost there actually. I can just hear, can you hear it?
Yeah.
I can hear flowing water. So I'm hopeful that this might actually be quite lovely. But we're into the sketchy stuff now. So of course we've got to go down this staircase. I suggest we go down on our bums. All right, let's do the second batch of stairs. Oh, a bit right. Well, I don't know about you, love, but for me, that is fantastic.
That's beautiful.
Have a look at this business. So I'm just gonna get a bit closer to the falls, then get my camera out, just walk around, try some handheld shots and see if I can find my composition. But this is just absolutely spectacular. And it's for the first time actually, I mean I've come here, I've lost count of how many times I've come here, but for the first time I actually think there might be shots in the opposite direction to the falls. Because just look at these beautiful ice shapes as the river meanders. Then you've got this lovely canopy with all this snow. So I feel like there might be a shot looking in the opposite direction. I know that's going to be tricky, so I'll probably fail at that, but we'll see. But I'll try the low-hanging fruit first, and then once I've got warmed up, I'll try that shot. How are you feeling, love?
Hungry.
Oh, did you bring some snacks?
Yeah.
What you got?
Cake.
Cake?
Tuxedo cake.
Tuxedo cake? You're joking, aren't you? I don't believe you.
So I very carefully crept towards the edge, almost sliding into the river. But what a gorgeous view, any direction that you care to look.
All right, so what I've done is I've been really careful to kind of find the halfway point between this side of the falls, where you've got the actual waterfall itself, surrounded by all this absolute gorgeousness, and then this side, I'll flip this round, where it's basically all about this river going in the opposite direction. So I've tried to do it in such a way that these are my footprints leading me to here, so that I've left myself with some options. I can shoot in that direction from a little bit further over there, or I can shoot in this direction from pretty much round about here. Once I go over there and start looking for foreground, my footprints are going to kill the shot, which I might still do, but I feel like there might be a shot here. Maybe if I just get a little bit closer. I do like this little lip here, but there's no way I'm going to be able to shoot that scene with my new prime lens at 80mm. I'm going to have to switch to the wide angle. So what I might do is just creep forward a little bit and just see how that looks in this frame, because this is a pretty wide angle lens on this camera, and yeah, it's not bad. But I love all this stuff. I love all of this detail. I love one waterfall, another one in the middle. So maybe I will try with the 80mm first and see what I can do.
So I got busy sifting through my camera bag. Let's get that out of the way. Grab this. Oh yes, look at that lens. And then I thought I'd just play around with a few handheld shots, and then I made the mistake of looking over my shoulder.
What are you doing? Are you actually eating? Is that cake? Oh, save me a bit. Oh, disgraceful. You're a disgrace. I would never do that. All right, so I've spent the last few minutes just trying to find compositions, just handheld, just shooting some quick and easy frames. Now, none of them are blowing me away right now, and that's just typical of this kind of focal length. Usually doesn't blow me away that much in camera. It's not until I look at them when I get home. But I think some of them might be worth getting the tripod out, putting on the CPL and trying out properly. We'll give it a go. But here are the handheld frames. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, not a bad starting point, so I figured it was tripod time.
So I kind of like that first shot, but I'll be honest with you, it's not blowing me away. I'm actually struggling quite a bit with this focal length, so frustrated. I'm not sure what to do.
I think you should take a little break.
Actually, I do need a pee. Can you cop that? Just look after my gear while I go. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's way better. Take this shot, and if the shot turns out to be any good, here's the shot.
It's always a challenge having a pee in minus 12 Celsius, bloody freezing. How's it going, love? Everything all right?
Yeah, it's going good.
All right, well, I'll just get back to my camera, thanks. Right, let's see where I was up to. Actually, that looks pretty nice composition, that. I think I might shoot that. Yeah, that's brilliant. What are you doing, love? Always messing around, never takes anything seriously, unlike me. All right, so I'm hoping you guys can see this. Basically what I've got is this lovely little ledge in the center here, and then this waterfall just comes down and touches that. Now, it's a little bit off balance looking, but I don't think that it really is, because there's so much going on here with all of these beautiful clusters of ice. So I really like that. I'm actually quite surprised that I managed to get a nice comp so quickly with this more challenging focal length. Brilliant.
Now, I often get requests from you guys to show you a comparison between the edited image and the unedited RAW file. So here is the RAW file, so that you can see how much editing the image needed. Now, when I put them side by side, you can see that I've focus stacked and worked with the contrast to create that final image. Now, did you know that you can pick up a signed copy of my new book, Stories Within Stories? There's a link in the description. What a fantastic winter wonderland. And even though I didn't get any cake, I'd still had a brilliant snow day in Nova Scotia.
Well, once again, I'm getting rushed out of this place. The snow is starting to come down hard and heavy, so I think it's time we hike back up, because it's going to be quite the slog. It might take us an hour to get back up there. Well, you saw how deep that... It was easy coming down, but it's not going to be easy going back up. I'm sure you're ready to go back up.
I'm starting to get cold now.
Yeah. But I think, all in all, I was really happy with that second shot that I got.
Yeah, it's amazing what can happen after you take a break.
Yeah, actually, I should probably do that more often, eh?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably have some way better pictures.
Just from taking a break?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get back up that hill then, eh?
You first.
There is actually one spot on the way home that might actually work out perfect for this prime 80mm lens, especially with wide open apertures and a nice bit of shallow depth of field. We'll see.
And so began the tedious trudge back up the hill.
Now in these videos, we always show you us hiking to the location, but never hiking away from the location. Because who wants to watch that? But I just want there to be a record, because this is a right slog. Have a look at this business. These trees that have come down on the trail definitely don't help. But that's what happens when everything gets bogged down under loads of snow. Trees go over. Well, then we've got these stairs to get up, which were easy to get down, apart from my hemorrhoids getting popped. But other than that, I wish I brought me spikes. Oh, it's not too bad actually.
Top tip for you, always park your car facing downhill so that you can get out when it's snowy like this.
All right, I can't say I'm excited about driving down this steep hill on snow that's on top of snow, but what choice have you got? So I'm just going to put it in 4-wheel low and creep down the whole thing in first and just hope that we make it.
Well, I'm glad to say that we did make it, and with just enough time to squeeze in one last photography location. But this is definitely not my usual thing.
All right, I've always wanted to shoot a very special forest here in Nova Scotia. You've probably never seen a forest like this before in your life, because it consists entirely of number plates. It's the number plate forest. Now I'm gonna have to be pretty quick about this because it's -12 and windy. I think with the wind chill it's probably about -24. It is freezing, it's very uncomfortable. But I just thought I'd quickly try and get a shot of this just before blue hour and it becomes too dark. Maybe we could call this Canadiana. Anyway, I'm gonna pick out some humorous number plates. Maybe go for a shallow depth of field, see what this 80mm is like at f1.9. and see if I can get a cool shot of this beautiful number plate forest. I can't feel my fingers and I kind of like the look of this number plate here, so there you go. That's my shot. I'm done. It's time to get back in the car. If this shot isn't absolute complete rubbish, here's the shot.
About you, but I'm personally quite relieved to finally understand where number plates come from. They just simply grow on trees. Mystery solved. I just want to say a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters shown here. You really do make it possible for me to keep this channel going. And if anyone's interested in my monthly critique sessions on Patreon, there's a link in the description. Thanks for watching.